I'm Aaron Jordan with my first election in the Mason Times. Coming up, you'll hear from Ed Altenritter on his campaign for the Mason Public School Board. What do you think the big successes for Mason are?
Mason, more than anything else, has continuity, encourages family involvement, and has a sense of self-identity that's really rare. Now, I know this sounds to people who haven't experienced it, but there is a sense of togetherness and belonging and a personal identity of being a part of Mason that's very unique, unlike other districts and places where the only thing that separates one district from another might be a road. There's a very clear Mason geography and feeling.
How would you describe that feeling? Like the geography and the feeling, how would you describe that?
It's in many ways, it's a throwback, but everybody here is very proud of it. And it's an old style ethic that you don't see too many times today. It's difficult to describe it. I guess an old-fashioned patriotism, for lack of a better word. It's no accident that the sports teams, Mason's colors are red and blue, but if you look carefully on every uniform, there's a little white stripe between every one, a very subtle way of without screaming, and I like that.
Ed Altenritter is a vocational rehabilitation counselor running for the Mason Public School Board for the first time. He and his late wife put 6 children through the Mason Public School system, including her 2 children, a foster child, and 3 children of their own. What made you decide to run for Mason School Board?
A couple reasons. First is my last child graduated, and so I have a little more time. The other thing is that I've been concerned with the budgetary hammering that every district has had. I spent the last year as president of the Mason Band Boosters and saw how the budget cuts were affecting that program and a lot of other programs. And I want to do what I can to make certain that our district weathers the economic storms that are hammering so many districts. We've done a good job so far, but we really have to stay ahead of the game to keep up with what I think is not a recession but a paradigm shift. And we have to realize it's a whole change in the way of life, but if we can stay ahead of the game, we're going to be okay.
How would you handle the budget?
Well, one of the things that I think is where I disagree with people who want to do district consolidation. I think we need to more aggressively go with services consolidation and become part of buying pools. Well, I certainly, I treasure our local identity, and I would not ever consider wanting us to merge with, say, Holt or Okemos or any other district. But for supplies and materials to begin to become part of buying pools, I think makes immense sense to come up to develop consortiums that can purchase equipment and supplies more economically. Makes immense sense.
There are others who are running against you that have been on the Mason School Board.
Right.
Why should people vote for you?
I have a unique blend of characteristics that everybody else doesn't have. First of all, I have an immense track record of involvement with this district, and I've gained a practical working knowledge that few people can equal. Everything from honors students to students with contracts and adult education and everything in between. I've had individually written rehabilitation plans for students, and I've had one of my children who won the Mary Jo Leonard Award for doing the most community services in the Honor Society and everything in between.
Altenritter said that he will bring his experience as a vocational rehabilitation counselor to his planning the future of the Mason Public Schools.
Our students have to get everything they need to be in the job market right now, and there is no other place. And I've had to develop vocational rehabilitation plans for hundreds of people, and I know what it takes. And we need to do some reordering of some priorities, and I don't mean just having better metal shop or wood shop or something like that. Those programs are passé. But to make certain that the programs that our kids get are job-centered and what employers want from young high school graduates. In addition, our district doesn't work with employers like we should. We should be having regular, constant, and heavy discussion with the employers to make certain that the product that we put out, our students, are what the employers want. Because there's a screaming need for people with the right skills. The days when our kids could just go and work on the line at VOC are gone. They must have some skills, and we've got to do it because nobody else can do it better than we can. As part of the band boosters, a couple of years ago, we did a survey, and we asked in the 6th through 12th, how many families came to Mason specifically because of the music program? And 20 families said they did. The problem is it's a very tempting thing to cut athletics, to cut, because they're not academic classes, they cut, band, cut ag science, because they're not reading, writing, arithmetic. The problem is you're killing the goose that lays the golden eggs. So we're caught in this. We actually should go, it's counterintuitive, we should not cut those programs, but those are our marquee programs. We should make them the best we can, because that will provide the funds to pay for our reading, writing, arithmetic. And to be honest, we are not going to be able to have, unless somebody donates $7 million for a Cray supercomputer, we are not going to have a math program that's going to be so superlative that people come from other areas to come to our math, our reading, or our science programs. It's just not going to happen.
What can you bring to the school board if you're elected?
The biggest thing is working with the business community. I have worked with employers for over 25 years now, working with them to get the match between the people and what they need. Most of the people running for the school board, even if they own a business or in the business, they're not used to networking. I'm a networker. I network resources. They're not networkers. I've had to pull pieces together to get things to work. I've had to pull monies from here, machinery from here, people from here to make the right match, to put the square peg in the square hole.
The 2012 general election will be held on Tuesday, November 6th. For more election coverage, you can go to our website, news.jrn.msu.edu/elections2012. In Mason, Aaron Jordan, My First Election, and Mason Times.